Behind the palace walls lies a struggle nobody expected. As the glitter of royal events captivated the world, Princess Anne and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, forged a clandestine alliance, an alliance with a singular mission, counteracting the rising influence of Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. What drove these women to unite in secrecy against a future queen consort? Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. The halls of the palace, rich with history and tradition, were ironically the perfect stage for the silent conflict unfolding within. Glittering affairs masked a tension that crackled like the air before a storm. Among the quietly clicked glasses and polite applause, Anne and Catherine recognized a growing need to address a mutual concern: Camilla's swift climb in influence in royal circles. In the secretive corridors, away from prying eyes, a conversation echoed, planting the first seed of their alliance. It was no ordinary discussion. It was a cautious merging of two minds who saw the same looming shadow threatening to reshape everything beneath their feet. Their unlikely partnership was born from an unanticipated catalyst, an intimate, private meeting. Little did either know that this brief encounter would irrevocably alter royal dynamics forever. During this pivotal exchange, a shared understanding emerged, a silent agreement that things needed to change, that whispers had to be countered with action. The roots of Anne's unresolved tension with Camilla wound through the annals of personal history, tinged with past grievances and words left unspoken. Catherine, caught in an internal conflict of loyalties, juggled her devotion to her husband with the quiet urgings of a castle alive with whispered politics and hidden agendas. In public, their signals were subtle yet telling. A glance exchanged at a charity function, a shared laugh that held too many layers. An observant eye would note these signs, wondering about the undercurrents at play. Intrigue built quietly, bubbling beneath the surface, as a cryptic diary entry surfaced, hinting at clandestine meetings between Anne and Catherine. These gatherings were not mere conversation. They were strategic sessions aimed at altering the family's future, a conspiracy to question Camilla's anticipated role. As whispers of discontent grow louder, a daring plan begins to materialize under the royal veneer. But how do these two royal powerhouses intend to challenge Camilla's ascension within the family hierarchy? In shadowy corridors of the palace, a simmering alliance converges. Secretive gatherings threatened the royal status quo as Anne and Catherine charted an unexpected course. But how did they meet under such scrutiny? And who was privy to their discreet strategy sessions? Behind gilded doors and opulent draperies, the pair orchestrated their meetings with a precision befitting a chess master playing their grand game on the board of monarchy. Only the most trusted confidants were brought into this clandestine circle, sworn to a vow of silence that weighed heavier than a royal scepter. Whispers fluttered through the halls like a mischievous breeze, hinting at these undercurrents but never daring to name them. The labyrinthine architecture of the palace unwittingly provided the perfect camouflage for these covert conferences. Hidden nooks, invisible to the untrained eye, became the stages where pivotal dialogues unfolded. These secret alcoves, once mere architectural quirks, now served as sanctuaries for Anne and Catherine. The very walls, accustomed to reverberating with royal proclamations, now absorbed hushed plans and fervent desires for transformation. These clandestine convocations did not go unnoticed by all, however, for even beneath the sheen of regal harmony, the ceaseless hum of palace life betrayed faint echoes of suspicion. The palace staff, ever vigilant in safeguarding tradition, could not help but notice the subtle shifts, glances that lingered a heartbeat too long, or hurried steps echoing in unusual hours. Rumors sprouted like weeds, unruly and stubborn, igniting both intrigue and unease as the gossip spread. Indeed, the growing murmur had left Anne and Catherine to wrestle with a storm of emotions, aware that each whispered word took them further out on the precarious limb of defiance. Behind the velvet curtains of secrecy was a landscape fraught with risk. The emotional burden on Anne and Catherine soared like a tempest at sea. Each clandestine meeting was a gamble, a weighty consideration of the potential fallout should their alliance be laid bare for the world to see. Yet, the stakes placed upon their fragile shoulders only cemented their resolve, a shared vision pulling them together as they balanced on the knife's edge of revelation and ruin. The balance of power within the kingdom hung by a thread. A tapestry poised for dramatic reweaving. Should these rendezvous come to light, change was both a siren's call and a spectre haunting their footsteps, daring them to challenge a status quo that had stood impervious for centuries. Each concealed meeting nudged the throne into a territory uncharted and perilous, begging the question of whether this secret power swap was a masterstroke or a misguided gamble. Outside of their hidden spheres, experts sought fragments of truth behind their public postures. Body language specialists dissected every gesture, every whisper. Within the royal court, piecing together the puzzle hidden behind stately deferrals and decorous courtesies. Subtle inclinations, furtive eye movements, and an uncalculated touch spoke volumes that sealed lips never could. In decorum's dance, Anne and Catherine wove a narrative where fortitude met finesse, their secret choreography an elegant subversion of tradition. As their alliance gains momentum, fear and pressure mount, pushing Anne and Catherine toward decisive action. Do they risk losing it all to protect a future they believe in? Beneath the weight of shadows, their story hurtles toward an undeniable reckoning. The stage is set for a high-stakes game within the royal circle. Anne and Catherine dare to undertake daring strategies and improbable plays against Camilla's trajectory. But what hidden tactics and persuasive maneuvers do these two formidable women employ in their battle? Within the corridors of power, where whispered conversations can topple kings, Anne and Catherine are tacticians par excellence. They orchestrate a symphony of strategy, their every move a calculated risk, their every word a carefully placed stone on the chessboard of royal intrigue. Both women see the kingdom not through the rose-tinted lens of pageantry, but as a complex tapestry of alliances and rivalries, the family ties frayed and repaired in smoke-filled rooms. In their arsenal lie the powerful tools of public sympathy and media, sway elements, waiting to be harnessed to their cause. With a poised and relentless will, they craft narratives that ripple across court and country. Anne, with her unyielding grace, inspires admiration, subtly weaving her persona into the hearts of the people who unknowingly become her allies in this silent war. Catherine's youthful elegance, paired with a shrewder understanding of modernity, channels energies into crafting one story, a strong mate, primal figure protective of her children and their inherited legacy. A future where their voices will echo with the authority of their lineage, untangled from shadows cast by another monarch's ascent. Behind closed doors, the emotional discussions laid bare, heartfelt aims driven by maternal instinct. The stakes could not be higher, securing a place not just on the throne, but in the annals of history. Anne and Catherine view their children not merely as heirs, but as bearers of ideals and dreams, promising shadows lengthening toward future dawns of their own making. At their sides leans a cryptic royal advisor, a spectre in the halls of power whose whispered counsel both women have learned to respect and question in equal measure. His involvement is an enigmatic equation in their plans, a variable shifting in the subtleties of his rumored influence. What knowledge does he share, and what does he keep hidden? These are questions of life-altering significance. A palpable sense of mystery cloaks every interaction, as those attuned to the lyrical language of the royals perceive the meaning cloaked in every fashion choice and subtle gesture. A brooch, a wave, an eyebrow raised at court. These elements form a code comprehensible only to those best aware of their subtlety's potential weight. The emptiness of an unknotted scarf, the repetition of a particular hue, these not merely signify a day's dress, but align a day's message, echoing louder than the rhythm of proclamations borne on vassals' mouths. Yet amidst the clever plays, Anne and Catherine are not blind to the Queen's own emergence from shadows past, her unspoken awareness of the shifting currents that swirl around her precarious position in the realm's heart. In her own right, Camilla, too, plots. She is not merely a passive observer, seemingly quiescent as the crown rests on her head. She is the silent contender, the observer who has understood that every move made by her adversaries leaves an imprint, a trail of thoughts and secrets decipherable to the wise. The stakes poised to rise higher margins on this board, their tactics in motion, but the royal chessboard is a place of unexpected shifts. What happens when Camilla suspects the turbulent undercurrents threatening her place in the monarchy? Upon realizing the convoluted labyrinth of schemes that Anne and Catherine have woven, Camilla becomes a storm cloaked in the guise of calm, a whirlwind of calculation veiled beneath her serene facade. Palace whispers, synchronized with precision like a dissonant symphony, fuel her mounting suspicion. Every hushed conversation between hallways becomes a thread in a web of deceit she cannot ignore. Gone are the days of passive vigilance. Now every encounter within the walled citadel of the monarchy is a chess match with stakes that climb higher with each passing moment. With an air of strategic subtlety, Camilla engages Prince Charles in a dialogue both intricate and oblique. Words flow between them like currents under frosty silence, dancing around truths and threats. Her inquiries, as understated as they are incisive, probe the depth of Anne and Catherine's intentions. It is a discourse wrapped in velvet, a cloak of civility over the naked sword of confrontation. She navigates through the sea of their past, present, and future, holding cards close to her chest while gleaning every semaphore of treasonous intent. In the battle of wits that unfolds, Camilla's countermoves are as precise as clockwork. She harnesses the currents of royal influence, fortifying her place in the ancient circle of power. Allies within, whose loyalty hangs delicately in the balance, become her fiercest advocates in this opportunity for intrigue. It is a dance of diplomacy, where loyalty is both currency and pawn, and she is the silent maestro orchestrating silent whispers of allegiance. But even as she builds her fortress, the effort strains her resolve. The clash between defending her hard-won legacy and the suffocating embrace of tradition gnaws at her, an inner turmoil hidden beneath layers of regal poise. On one hand, there is the thirst for preservation. On the other, the relentless tide of expectations from a storied lineage that demands its pound of flesh. She watches as the bastion of monarchy becomes an arena of personal sacrifice, where battles wage behind smiles. An unexpected revelation strikes when spying attempts come to light, turning the undercurrent of enmity into an explosive crescendo. Tension simmers like a teapot about to whistle, each espionage effort pushing the limits of discretion and decency. The stakes have matured from whispers in corridors to the serious threat of scandal, poised to fracture the royal facade with the slightest prod. Shadows of doubt lurk everywhere, reminding Camilla that the battle stands on a knife's edge, where any misstep may lay bare the monarchic disputes for the world to see. An unprecedented clash of power and prestige looms, but the real danger lurks beneath Camilla's poised exterior. Which secrets might ultimately shatter the fragile truce holding the royals together? As the palace corridors hum with hidden tensions and unsaid alliances, a time bomb ticks silently beneath the surface. The secret dealings of Anne and Catherine begin to show under pressure, risking exposure and betrayal. Who can they trust when even the walls seem to have eyes and ears? In the heart of the palace, whispers weave their web, unnoticed by the unwary, yet sensed by those entangled in its intricate pattern. Prince Charles, his demeanor, once as steady as the sun, now reveals cracks, a fleeting shadow in his gaze, a distracted glance, hinge at the dissolution of royal calm. It starts with an innocuous turn of the head, a hesitation too long, as if processing the impossibility of betrayal from within. As confidential whispers escape their secure confines, trickling through the cracks like water, doubt seeps into his royal image. The chill of realization gathers about him like a storm cloud, each drop a suspicion, ready to burst. Inside the family, silence wields more power than words. Evening dinners, once filled with laughter and obligatory politeness, now haunted by a heaviness that descends like a shroud. The once vibrant conversations have withered into a series of guarded exchanges, each word measured, weighed with a caution born from fear of unintended betrayal. Anne and Catherine sit across from Charles, each glance between them a silent conversation, eyes flickering with the embers of suspicion. This intangible weight presses upon them, warping their perception, sharpening the edges of their relationships. Trust, once the sturdy foundation of their shared world, trembles underfoot. But it is not only the threat from their immediate circle that looms over them like a spectre. They must suspect the loyalty of those considered allies. Among their closest confidantes, Anne and Catherine confront an unwelcome thought. Are shadows lurking among them, masked by the guise of friendship? The potential of treachery sends them spiraling into the depth of paranoia. Confrontations veiled in pleasantries unspool behind closed doors, tension simmering beneath the surface, questions wrapped in layers of implication, each moment charged with anticipation, as if the very air were set to ignite. Outside the palace's supposed sanctity, the clamour of journalists grows, a relentless pursuit driven by the scent of scandal. With each passing day, prying eyes draw closer to the heart of the secret. Their investigate ions a constant drumbeat against the fragile peace. The scrutiny intensifies, each headline a match ready to strike against the kindling of public opinion. Anne and Catherine feel the hot breath of exposure on their necks, the walls closing in as the press encircles them. Reporters, like wolves at a hunt, gather clues from discarded phrases, assembling their puzzle with chilling precision. And then it happens. An innocent slip, a comment made in jest, unknowingly becomes a loose thread, ready to unravel the carefully woven tapestry of secrecy. Conversations meant to remain private find themselves caught in the net of eavesdropping ears. The clandestine alliance that was once their shield now threatens to become their undoing, revealing more than either could have anticipated. The sanctuary of their private world teeters precariously on the brink of public excoriation, the stage set for a spectacle no royal decree could forestall. Navigating the delicate tension within the palace becomes ever more treacherous. When trust cracks, will their clandestine alliance crumble, or will they find a way to solidify their bond against mounting odds? In a world where renown is currency, a sensational disclosure rattles the palace foundation. Sources reveal a perplexing truth that casts a shadow of doubt and suspicion within Anne and Catherine's plan. Could this revelation ignite a cataclysmic shift within the royal dynamics? As whispers of discontent weave through the hallowed halls, an unanticipated disclosure brings Anne and Catherine's carefully constructed edifice crashing into chaos. Itemized among the palace's innermost sanctuaries, a document emerges, bearing testimony so striking it leaves the Queen's hearts pounding against their ribs with a rhythm of disbelief. The majestic confidence they once flaunted now lies unraveled by a secret they were neither prepared to unseal nor confront, a secret that poses a threat to their dynastic dominion like never before. Within the confines of their elegance-laden quarters, a tempest of emotion brews, a tangible rift between the two potent women who've long held the reins of the realm. Anne, known for her steely resolve, succumbs to a contemplative silence, her mind a labyrinth of doubts. Catherine, usually the pillar of unwavering strength, finds her voice trembling with an uncharacteristic falter. Vulnerability, a relic long discarded by them both, now sits at their table, a reminder of the frail humanity they never thought would entwine their destinies. The realization that all could crumble leaves them grappling in emotional introspection, united in turmoil, yet seemingly divided by it. The kernel of this devastating revelation lies in a covertly obtained legal document, one that reveals intricacies that could topple not just the Queen's, but the very fabric of their royal lineage. It acts as the fulcrum of a pivotal shift, threatening to unspin the threads of power that cinch Anne and Catherine to their thrones. But who is the shadowy architect of this betrayal? The answer lurks within the tapestried shadows of the court. A figure, once unseen, now boldly emerging into the light. With cunning maneuverability, they have dislodged secrets held tight, turning confidences into weapons that slice through dreams and allegiance equally. As this bombshell permeates their fortified psyche, its effects ripple outward, transforming the collective mood of the court. The moral ground upon which Anne and Catherine once stood with conviction now teeters precariously. Their strategic playbook, once meticulous and precise, lies scrambled, awaiting a recalibration of staggering proportions. Yet amidst the churning seas of betrayal, an unexpected ally steps forward with surprising grace. The ally arrives not as a knight in polished armor, but as a shrouded whisper, a confidant amidst conspirators. Their allegiance feels like a tether to sanity, a newfound kinship in this elaborate game of royal chess. In the eye of this storm, Anne and Catherine race against time to reclaim control and navigate the shifting allegiances. Which piece of the puzzle changes their strategy, and how will Camilla respond when tables are turned? The revelation reshapes destinies, not quietly, but with the gravity of 1,000 whispered vows. Every moment, every choice now leads them to paths unwalked as they tread the precarious balance between ruin and resurgence. As the narrative unspools, they find themselves caught between the echoes of past promises and the reverberations of future reckonings, plotting the uncertain chapters yet to be written in the chronicles of their reign. As truth unravels and alliances realign, Anne and Catherine face the aftermath of their bold initiative. In the fractured aftermath of this disclosure, can these royal women reconstruct their standing amidst a maelstrom of controversy? The air is thick with tension and anticipation, as if the kingdom holds its breath, waiting to see the outcome of Anne and Catherine's daring gambit. The exposure of the clandestine mission lands, like a thunderclap, across the realm, sparking a cascade of whispers, suspicions, and intrigue. Handling the fallout requires not only resilience, but an acute understanding of the chessboard that is royal diplomacy. They stand at the eye of a storm they had unleashed, their every move scrutinized under the glaring spotlight of public opinion and hungry media realms eager to carve out their stories of the great undoing. Yet, under the watchful eyes of a nation both charmed and skeptical, they steel themselves for the battles ahead. Exposing a reality long hidden commands an emotional toll. Both men grapple with the weight of their decisions and the tremors now rippling through the corridors of power. Still, they refuse to let regret taint their purpose. Instead, they channel the intensity growing around them, using it as a rallying point to shape new narratives. Public perception, a fickle and formidable foe, demands deft manipulation. They pivot, reframing their story, not as a tale of deceit, but one of justice and courage. Every word they speak, every gesture they make, is carefully calculated to deflect backlash and illuminate the shadows of truth that others might obscure. Their endeavors to reconcile with a court mired in scandal is a delicate dance of diplomacy and defiance. Anne, ever the tactician, leads the charge, crafting alliances that once seemed improbable. Catherine, with her innate empathy and grace, reaches across divides, bridging rifts with sincerity that melts even the stoniest of hearts. Together, they face scrutiny with a united front, a beacon of integrity in a sea beset by turmoil. Yet, navigating this treacherous terrain requires more than just courage. It demands a recalibration of their very essence. Meanwhile, Camilla, a figure once removed from the forefront of action, finds herself thrust into the limelight once more. Her response to this upheaval is a masterclass in subtlety and strength. Rather than reacting in haste, she adopts a measured approach, consolidating her influence quietly, but with an unmistakably firm hand. Her deft engagement with both public and private spheres underscores a deeper recalibration at play, a strategic rebalancing of royal reputations as she seeks to regain favor and diminish the sting of betrayal that hangs heavy within the palace halls. As shaken expectations settle, a new resolve takes root within Anne and Catherine. Insightful and reflective, their experiences forge a new path, reminding why they began this journey. In the intimacy of quiet moments, their motives crystallize, steeling their future resolve with an unyielding strength. They are women sculpted by adversity, their characters a testament to the fire through which they have walked. And as they look to the horizon, their purpose burns brighter than ever. From the shadows of discord, Anne and Catherine emerge with renewed strength. A reboot in the royal dynamic is on the horizon. What unexpected relationships hold the key to future harmony? And what are the lasting implications of their daunting quest? And so the story unfolds, ever twisting, ever compelling. In the wake of turmoil, a promising new dawn breaks over the royal family. As alliances shift and harmony teeters on the horizon, the potential for lasting change beckons. Can a new equilibrium within the palace redefine the monarchy's role in modern times? Among the gilded corridors, where whispers once spoke of betrayal and strife, a new chapter begins to write itself. A chapter where resilience meets transformation. Power dynamics once entrenched in secrecy and ambition now begin to dance in a curious and hopeful gavotte. It is not the thunderous crack of revolution that tips the balance, but the gentle rustling of curtains, letting in a beam of long-missed sunlight. Inside the palace, compassion replaces suspicion as the linchpin for a future steeped in unity. Key royals, once strewn apart by shadows and past grievances, now cautiously weave bonds, thick with respect and mutual understanding. It is a daring stride toward collaboration, with bruised yet hopeful heirs finding courage and sincerity in the space between them. The air is charged with a palpable energy, a shared vision that huddles beneath the crown's storied grandeur, promising to bridge the fissures of yesteryear. Amidst this renewal, public perception walks arm in arm with change, as modernity meets tradition in a grand societal waltz. The subjects, ever watchful with weary but hopeful eyes, marvel at this refreshing spectacle. The monarchy, gently shedding its antiquated veneer, begins to emerge anew. Their strides toward reform, like carefully penned oaths, ripple through the tapestry of British life, hinting at a monarchy reimagined, one that outstretches a hand toward the future and its ever-shifting landscapes. In this reimagining, whispers of enduring peace take form as royal duties evolve and responsibilities recalibrate to sit snug upon shoulders that have borne relentless weight. The potential for harmonious coexistence unfurls like the spring's first unfaltering blossom. A legacy begins to shape that is not defined merely by survival, but by proactive stewardship, crafting a story the world might now hear anew. The monarchy finds itself on the threshold of promising ambition, poised between the lessons of the past and the dance of tomorrow's purpose. As this narrative of intrigue, resonance, and quiet resistance closes, the throne's future glistens with invigorated promise. Endings unveil new beginnings, and the echoes of Anne, Catherine, and Camilla's trials resound with enduring impact on what it truly means to be royal. As tides of time shape the crown's legacy, exploring how secrets, alliances, and strategic plays change the royal tapestry offers unparalleled insights into monarchy's uncharted influence. The saga of Princess Anne and Catherine, their clandestine pact, unveiled in the shadow of Camilla's ascension, stands as a testament to the multifaceted nature of regal power. It is a reminder that behind the polished facade of royalty, there lie intricate maneuvers where private intentions weave into public consequence. Reflecting on the transformative impact of their revelation, we see the delicate balance of their monarchy shaken but not toppled, redefined perhaps in ways that kings and queens past might never have imagined. Here, secrets serve as a double-edged sword, wielded with precision or recklessness, mirroring the ever-turbulent intersection of illusion and reality. They are the whispers that sculpt the stone of royal politics, carving both steadfast legacies and unforeseen altercations. Remarkably, such intrigue may well reshape the monarchy's institutional continuity. Rather than crumble under the weight of exposure, the royal edifice hints at renewal. It becomes imperative to apprehend the delicate interplay of past traditions with a future illuminated by transparency and nuanced understanding, a phoenix from the ashes of withheld truths and veiled intentions. Royal historians are beginning to characterize this era as a pivot point, where the insights gleaned from royal alliances prompt a re-examination of regal authority amidst the modern world's ceaseless advance. In their eyes, unearthing these hidden machinations is not merely an exercise in revelation, but a catalyst for evolution, a forward march from the past's tangled roots into a tomorrow where the monarchy redefines its purpose. This ongoing dialogue between tradition and modernity presents a reconciled vision of a monarchy embracing both its venerable past and a dynamically progressive future through the prisms of understanding and adaptability. The royal narrative continues its passage, mindful of history's watchful gaze, yet daring enough to create anew its own storied path. Lydia, with a gaze that marries wisdom with wistfulness, stands at this threshold, assimilating the royal developments she has witnessed. Her reflections encapsulate the collective introspection shared not only by the House of Windsor, but by a world enraptured by the dance of power and human vulnerability. As the storied corridors whisper back the ghosts of their secrets, Lydia envisions a legacy where the past's veils become future freedoms, a shift toward openness and resilience. As the camera pans over the regal corridors echoing with whispered pasts and vibrant futures, viewers are left to ponder, in the monarchy's perpetual dance, what future stories await illumination, and how will they alter our understanding of power and the human condition? Here, at the cusp of endings and beginnings, the tale finds its home, an invitation for new alliances and untold secrets to stir the pages of history yet unwritten.